The most successful businesses understand that their competitive edge lies in their ability to create high quality and engaging content. And the reason for this is because through a very strong creative strategy, you are able to attract and retain customers as well as scale your performance overall. So today we're going to take you through our creative testing framework. At R17, we believe in constantly testing to make sure that we are trying to identify winners and really creating high quality content that we can iterate over a period of time, which helps us prevent ad fatigue, and it also helps us just squeeze out every single last drop of performance that we can out of an audience that is currently working for us. So we're going to share that with you today. And basically, the first slide is just an overview of what this would essentially look like in platform. So you'll see there's a breakdown of 4 campaigns. Campaign 1 is your most important, so that's your core campaign. That is your always on campaign that you're currently running, that has all of your top performing creatives in it, and that's really driving the performance for your company or for the brand that you're working on. So the first step that we're going to take is we're going to have a message test. And the message test, the goal here is to identify the messaging that resonates the best with your customers. The second one will be your creative test. So now we will combine the top performing creative and ad copy together and create different variations of the creative to test. And then lastly, we've got an audience test. So now that we've identified the winning combinations of ad copy as well as creative, we'll run that against different audience segments, and then again feed those winning ads into our core campaign. So there's a constant kind of feedback loop where we take winning creatives from our core campaign, it goes through the testing framework, and then we plug the winning creatives back into the core campaign and scale that. When we look at the testing budget, ideally, you would want a budget of at least 3 times your CPA on a daily basis. However, we do understand that this is not always possible because of budget constraints. So as a rule of thumb, we normally just take about 20% of your total monthly budget and use that against our testing framework. So here's a more detailed outline of the testing framework. So again, we've got 3 phases. The first one is your message test. And during this phase, what we're going to do is we're going to take our top performing ads from our core campaign and we're going to create a new traffic campaign. Okay, so now we're going to run for traffic and we're going to run it against a broad audience or your top performing audience. In our case, we've seen time and time again that broad just works better. So we would normally opt for a broad audience. And then we set a rule to switch off the creatives once it's reached 1,000 impressions. Okay, and once that's complete, we will go and analyze the click-through rate and determine the winner based on the highest click-through rate. Okay, so the one that was resonating the most with our audience, and that ultimately resulted in a higher click-through rate. Then what we're going to do in phase 2 is we're going to take this winning ad and ad copy variation, and we're going to create different variations of the creative against the same ad copy. Okay, and we're going to break it down into different ad sets. So in phase 1, you've got everything in one ad set. In phase 2, you will break it down by ad set and give each creative its own budget. And the reason for this is because we want to give each creative the same amount of spend, right? If it was in the same ad set, it's going to optimize for the best performing based on what the engine sees, or how the engine determines it. But for us, we want to do kind of a fair test. So again, breaking it down by ad set and giving each the same amount of budget. Our creative kill point is when a creative has spent 3 to 5 times the CPA, and the winner needs at least 10 conversions at an average CPA. So that's how we determine a winner. Obviously, this testing framework will need to be adapted based on your client or your brand. Not all companies, for example, can achieve that amount of sales within the first week or second week or third week. It might be a new startup or whatever it might be, so that it'll take a bit more time and you might have to adjust these targets based on what's realistic for your client or for your brand. But this is, again, it's just a framework. Cool. And then we find the best of the best winning ad and duplicate it into our core campaign. So the idea is, again, to identify the winning ads, and then we feed that into our core campaign. The phase 3 is where we do audience testing. So again, it's a conversion based campaign, and we take our top performing creators from our phase 2 against different audience segments. So again, separated by ad set, and our creative kill point again is 3 to 5 times the CPA, and a winner needs at least 10 times conversions at an average CPA. Okay, so this is a very simple and straightforward framework that you can follow and apply across all your clients or all your accounts. And it just really helps you test with a clear strategy in mind so that you can keep track of everything that you're doing and that you can actually pull valuable insights and get value out of this process. So what we've also included is a testing tracker, which I'll take you through now in a moment. Perfect. So this is our creative testing tracker that you can download for free. And essentially, just before you start, make sure that you are making a copy. So you can just go File, make a copy for yourself, and save it to your drive. And here we've got just the template. So the purpose of this is to just keep track of your creative tests and the results. So we always want to test with a hypothesis, right? So you want to do a test for a reason. You want to find winning ads that produce results for your brand or for your client. And when you are running multiple ads across different accounts, it's easy to get lost in the noise and everything that's going on. So we highly recommend keeping track of everything that you're doing so that, again, we can actually get valuable insights from this. So just to take you through this quickly, so we've got our test numbers. So just give it the number of the test. So let's say the test we're doing is the first test. We've got our hypothesis. So what are we actually trying to achieve? Is it to increase ROAS? Is it to decrease the CPA? Whatever it might be, that is defined by whatever your client or your brand requires. Then we can keep track of the start and the end dates, a creative link, so link to your drive where the creative actually lives, or you can even do it on the platform, just so we always have access to that. And then creative numbers. So this will make sense if you've seen our video about our campaign name generator. We provide creative numbers for our creatives to keep track of everything. So in this case, we would input that specific number that we've used in our campaign name generator. Then we've got the ad type, so whether it's a single image, a carousel, a video, you can just select from whatever is available there. If you have more formats or want to change anything, you can do so as well. You can add values and you can remove values. Okay, then we can go to our angle. So let me just quickly remove this. Okay, so then we go into our angles. We've added a list here of different angles, so whether it's a feature point out, us versus them, X reasons why. Again, you can add and remove as you wish and whatever is relevant to you. Then we've got whether it's UGC or non-UGC, so just define that. We can then move into the copy, so what is the headline, what is the hook, and what is the ad copy? In terms of the creative, what do we have? What's the text overlay on the creative? What is the call to action? Where are we taking users? What's the landing page? And then lastly, what are the results and the learnings? So here again, you can also customize it, but we've got some general, like a general score. So whether it was successful, whether it needs more testing, or whether it didn't perform at all. And then you can add the relevant learnings into that specific column. Okay, so super easy to use and super straightforward. A really helpful tool just to, again, keep track of everything so that you can actually gain some valuable insights and learn something out of your creative testing processes and not just kind of go in blindly and get lost throughout the process. Cool. Awesome. So this is available for free for you guys to download. So please feel free to check it out. And yeah, till next time.